I gotta make a video. I gotta make a video on the day God speaks to me. You know? He pulls me out of the clutches of despair at the very last moment. And I have to give it all up to Him, like I am today, in this beautiful sunset night. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, yeah. Beautiful sunset here. Anyway, what's this all about? I'll tell you what it's all about. I was reading the Bible today. I was reading the Bible passage about Jacob. Jacob, the son. Jacob is the son of Isaac, one of the sons of Isaac. Jacob was the second one to come out. Isaac had twins. Esau came out first, but Jacob was hard on his tail. And Jacob was, I would say he was a savvy dude. Yeah. He got his older brother, who was a farmer, and Jacob was a shepherd and with a well, and when there was a drought, Esau's people were starving, and it's very difficult for an older brother to go to a younger brother for help. So this was very difficult for Esau, but he did. And he said, Jacob, I'm starving here. My people are starving. I'm about ready to pass out. So can you make me a bowl of stew? And Jacob, being the savvy dude that he was, said, I will give you a bowl of stew and feed your people if you give up your birthright to me. Isaac was a wealthy man, and he had multiple flocks, multiple servants. And Esau said, well, what good is my birthright if I'm about to die? So yes, I will. I'll give it up. So he gave up his birthright for a bowl of stew and, enough food to feed the people that Esau employed. But that wasn't enough. When Isaac was very, very old and blind, he was about to give his older son, Esau, all of his blessings and all of his inheritance. And Rebekah, who was Isaac's wife, favored Jacob and said, I want you to go to your father. And your father has approached Esau in his older age to provide for him and cook for him. And because Isaac was too old, so he said, Esau, I want you to go out into the field and I want you to provide for me. Take care of me in my older age. Go out and slaughter a lamb and cook it. And I love savory food, so lamb stew. So while Esau was out there doing what Jacob said, doing what Isaac said, getting confused here. While Esau was out doing what his father Isaac said, Jacob, being the favor of his mother said, you go and slaughter a lamb. I'll cook it for you. You bring it to your father and pretend that you are Esau. And Esau said, well, Esau, he's going to know. He's going to know. Esau is very hairy. He's going to touch me. He's going to know it's not me. No, I will make you a goat skin. And your father will give you all of the inheritance. It'll be in your... So Jacob did that. And he tricked his father, Isaac, into giving him all of the inheritance, which was a lot. It was like flocks and flocks of lambs and goats and cattle and servants. And Jacob went to his father and presented a meal, and he got the blessing and he got the inheritance. And right after he got the inheritance, he left. He took off. I mean, he went up to Syria, just north of Canaan. He was in the land of Syria. And he settled there. And Esau found out, and he was pissed. And he vowed to kill his younger brother. He was just going to fucking kill him. Well, Jacob fled because he was afraid his older brother was going to kill him. And he came upon a spot in the desert, and he was tired, and all his people were tired. He laid down, and he took a stone to fucking rest his head on a stone. And in the middle of the night, he had a dream. And God came to him and said, I'm going to give you all this land. This is where, you don't have to go any further. And he stopped. And he didn't fear his brother anymore. He feared God. He gave God credit for what he had been given. And he had a vision at night of like an escalator at Macy's. You know, one escalator's going up, one's coming down. But the escalator was filled with angels. And the angels were going up, angels were coming down. Well, the ladder, it was an escalator. That was Jesus. Jesus transported people up and down. Up and down. And Jacob said, okay, this is where I'm going to stay. Because God says this is where I'm going to stay and this is what I'm going to have. I'm going to have a great nation. And I believe him, and this is God's place. So he built an altar there, and he stayed, and he didn't fear his brother Esau anymore. He feared God. And he came to God, and God gave him that vision, and it came true. And he met his wife at a well where the sheep were being watered, and he went to meet the father of the woman that he fell in love with. And the father said, well, I can't give you my younger daughter, but I can give you my older daughter, because it's not right to give the younger daughter before the older daughter, which makes sense. But if you work for me for 7 years, I will give you the younger daughter. So he worked for 7 years. He took the older daughter for a wife, 7 years. At the end of 7 years, he went back to try to, and he got the younger daughter. In the meantime, the younger daughter didn't bear any children. So the younger daughter brought concubines for him to have and wives with. So Jacob had 6 or 7 wives and 12 sons and a few daughters in between in exchange for staying in that land and populating it. And that became the nation of Israel. And he was a descendant of Jesus Christ. The long story short, that was a long story. But anyway, that was a passage I read today. And I had realized that I've been blessed like that. 3 times in my life, I've been blessed with great success. Financially, great success. Personally, with women. And each time it was taken away. And my explanation is this. It was given to me by God, and I thought it was me. It was all me because I was so fucking talented. I was a carpenter, and I was a... No. It was given to me, and it was taken away. And I didn't give God any credit for it. And then I made it again. I achieved great success again. And it was taken away again. And I still didn't. Thought it was all my credit, all my fault. It wasn't my credit. It was not my fault. It was God's credit. God was trying to like wake me up. To say, hey, it's not you. It's me. And I was given it a third time. And it was taken away a third time. And then I just started realizing, like today, like, how is it that a guy like me never went to college, can't even fucking spell? How is it that I've achieved 3 times great success and it's been taken away? It's because God took it away to finally fucking make me realize that it wasn't me. It was him. Yeah, it was not me. It was him. And gotten to the point now where I have had an epiphany. A fucking awesome idea. One of the best ideas. And I've had a lot of ideas. You know me. Everybody, you know me. I've got lots of fucking creative ideas. Well, a lot of them cost a lot of money. But this one doesn't cost any money. It's just a fucking idea. And it's a very timely idea. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But when Jacob had his idea presented by God, well, his head was on the rock, and the elevators were going up and down, and told him to stay there, he promised to give 10% of his proceeds to God, or whatever God wanted him to spend it on. And in my case, I think it needs to be spent on the Palestinians or people similar to. So that's what I'm going to do. And anybody wants to share this idea, participate in this, and I know it's a brilliant idea because I've had people call me and tell me that's fucking brilliant. And today, I sold my first job. And I was on the balls of my ass. I was waiting for my next Social Security check to move my trailer and that truck out of this campsite because I got kicked out for lighting fires in my campsite and playing my guitar. And I was just waiting for my next Social Security check. And barely enough food to eat. And I just like pray to God. You know, give it up to God. And lo and behold, I went out today and I sold a bathroom out of the blue from this great fucking idea. And I've had other people call me and say, man, that's a brilliant fucking idea what you came up with to get us to call you. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to register my domain. What's that cost? $3? And then I'm going to register the brand that led to this project being sold, and that only cost me $5 to promote. $5. $5 made me $2,000. A $5 investment made me $2,000 this week. I'm going out next week. I'm gonna make $2,000. And in a time of very, very difficult time in America where McDonald's is having a fucking problem staying in business because the minimum wage is now $20. I think there's going to be a lot of people just like me that want just an idea that they are willing to lease the brand name that I've come up with. And that's all it is. It's just a brand name. And I will lease it to them as long as they're willing to pledge 10% of what they make to a worthy cause. So, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This is Wild Bill. I'm out. See ya.